Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to Decent Tube. So I have been seeing couple of phones and believe me, it was really hard to choose in such a competition. So after a lot of research, I have brought you the best 5 phone that you can buy under 30k. So I'll meet you after the intro. So number 5 in the list is Vivo V19. The reason I kept the phone at number 5 because of the processor and camera. It's just not worth the price. Rather than that, it's a really premium phone. Well, at the bottom we have the Type-C port, headphone jack and speaker grills, and the sound quality is pretty good. It has a 6.44-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display. While at the front we have dual punch-hole selfie camera. The primary is 32 megapixel and the other one is 8 megapixel wide angle camera. Well, the processor is not good for this price range. And the GPU for this device is Adreno 616. As you can see the performance, it's not that satisfactory. It is powered by Snapdragon 712 AI chipset. So the gaming performance is not that good, but it's decent. And coming for the rear camera system, it houses 48 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide camera and 2 megapixel micro camera and 2 megapixel for bokeh shots. So the price for the variant 8GB RAM, 128GB internal storage is 24,990. Number 4 in the list is Realme 7 Pro. So I'm pretty much impressed by the specification given in this phone at this price range. So let's get started.
So at the front we have 6.4 inches FHD Plus Super AMOLED display with Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which is a lot at this price range. So at the front we have the 32 megapixel punch hole selfie camera. At the bottom we have the Type-C port, headphone jack and the speaker grill, and the sound quality is really good. So the rear camera has 64 megapixel f1.8 Sony IMX682 sensor and an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel for macro shots and 2 megapixel for depth shots. And the picture quality is really very good. Coming to the processor, we have the Snapdragon 720G with Adreno 618 processor. You will get two storage variants, and with UFS 2.1 the gaming experience is really very good. Coming to the battery, we have the 4500 mAh battery with 65 watt super dart charge. So the gaming experience is pretty good. So I played PUB COD Mobile and I am pretty much impressed by the performance. So the price for the 6GB RAM 128GB storage is 20,999, which is really great. With a heavy heart, number 3 on my list is Samsung M51. This is the 7000 mAh battery phone. Well, this is not a phone, this is a monster. It really is. Whether be the camera, the processor or the performance, it really is a monster. Well, the design is not that stunning, but I am really impressed with this performance. So let me just tell you why you should buy this phone. Well, it's got a side mounted fingerprint scanner which is pretty fast, a triple slot SIM card tray, and at the bottom we have the USB Type-C and the speaker grill. Well, at the front the screen we have is Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display, and believe me guys, Samsung AMOLED is brilliant and I personally love Samsung's AMOLED displays. As you can see, the performance is good. With Snapdragon 730G, the gaming performance is even better. Like I said, this is not that attractive phone. Well, it's got a 7000 mAh massive battery. And Samsung also claims that it has reverse charging, so it is like your power bank. So with the battery and processor like this, gaming won't be any problem. Coming to the optics, this is the best camera phone above all the 5. The primary camera is 64 plus 12 plus 5 plus 5. I'll tell you more about the cameras at the last. So number 2 on the list is OnePlus Nord. The phone is brilliant, but it has got only two disadvantages. One, it does not have the primary 64 megapixel camera. People say it does not matter, but it does matter. quality is far more better in 64 megapixel camera. Rather than that, it's a really premium phone. The second con is you cannot expand your storage at this price point. At the front we have the Fluid AMOLED FHD Plus with 90Hz refresh rate. Coming to the processor, we have the Snapdragon 765G 5G processor. Coming to the optics, we have the 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel depth, 2 megapixel macro and 48 megapixel primary camera. As you can see the camera samples, the quality is good, but it won't come to any comparison with the quality of 64 megapixel camera. The gaming experience is really smooth. I kept the graphics at full HD and FPS at high rate. Coming to the front camera, we have the dual punch hole with the 32 megapixel primary camera and 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. And it's got a 4115 mAh with 30 watt warp charge, which is decent. This is the 5G phone, and if you are a futuristic person thinking about your future, because 5G is not yet launched in India. If you want a 5G phone, this is the best phone you can buy at 25,000, the base variant. And also remember the cons which I told you. So number 1 on my list is Realme X3. Yes, I have kept this just because of the processor and its performance. And with this brilliant phone, we have got just one disadvantage, which I'll tell you further in the video. Camera we've got in this is primary 64 megapixels, 5 megapixel wide angle, plus 2 megapixel macro, plus 2 megapixel depth. Well, I really like the design concept of Realme. It has also got a white color called Arctic White, and it's really good. It's got a 4200 mAh battery and 202 grams of weight, which is pretty good and lightweight. The side mounted fingerprint scanner, which is really very fast, and it also acts as a power on off button. At the other side we have the volume buttons. At the top we have the primary microphone. At the bottom we have the speaker grill, Type-C port and the SIM card tray. No, we don't have the expanded storage. The sound quality, I must say, it's pretty loud. Yeah, it's good. And another disadvantage is that you do not have a headphone jack. Yes. And the main disadvantage which I wanted to tell you is that it has got an IPS LCD display but not an AMOLED display. But we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 5, which is good. Coming to the processor, we have the Snapdragon 855 Plus Qualcomm flagship chipset and a 120Hz refresh rate panel. Trust me, the clicks and the touches are really smooth. Coming to the gaming, there's no doubt that this is the king of all the phones. Going to battery, we have 42 mAh battery. With the fast charger given in the box, Realme claims that it will charge your phone from 0 to 70% in just 30 minutes. And it also supports 15 watt USB port drive. Well, I must agree, Realme has given a stunning design. As I told before, the primary 64 megapixel with f1.8 aperture, the photo quality is really good. As you can see, the quality is really good. And I would not recommend you to buy the super zoom version of the X3 because it's just the waste of your money. When you zoom it to 60x in the super zoom, all you see is a blurred image, nothing else. So I would suggest you to buy the Realme X3. The two advantages which I told you, that headphone jack and the LCD display, the phone is really good. So keep that in mind when you buy this. Coming to the front, we have the dual punch hole 32 plus 8 megapixel selfie camera. So guys, lastly, I would suggest you the best phone which I like. If you're a guy with futuristic thoughts like 5G, and if you're from India, then I would suggest you the Nord. But remember, it does not have the expandable storage and the headphone jack, and also the 48 megapixel camera but not the 64 megapixel camera. Apart from all of that, I would suggest you the Samsung M51. At the price range of 25,000, you will get expandable storage, headphone jack, Super AMOLED display, 7000 mAh battery, 64 megapixel camera and 5 megapixel 4 macro camera and depth shots. And don't worry of the processor guys, Snapdragon 730G is also really good. You can see the camera samples, it's the best camera phone above all the 5. You can see the price variant I have given for the Samsung Galaxy M51. So yeah, this is my choice for you.